EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Carolinas and Bank of America Stadium here in Uptown Charlotte. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Carolina Panthers. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
11.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Gronkowski's got it on the crossing route. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
McCaffrey following the penalty. Got a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
13.
Garoppolo now. First down throw. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
McCaffrey with a first down and more. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And all the way down to the 5. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it first and goal. A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They've got it first and goal at the 6. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. No gain there on the completion. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He can make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead. Gano the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Gano out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Trubisky brings the Bears up first and 10 at their 25-yard line.
You see it?
A first carry now for Jordan Howard. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
This is brought in at the 21. That'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Panthers will take over now first and 10. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Gronkowski unable to hang on. That'll bring up second down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here we go.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. Dotson with a grab over the middle. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one good for 15 and a first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo to try again on 2nd down. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. Escaping the pressure right. Going back to Moore. This time he's got him complete. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Hurry.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense. 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline. They keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
12, 12. 180. Black 80. 12, 12.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
11, 11.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Hard throw, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton, and able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive, and also give him a 1st down. On 1st down, they run with Howard. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get him into the right defense.
The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On play action, now Garoppolo. On the slant, he gets it to Gronkowski. And he's taken down inside the 30. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And they move this all the way down to the 9. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And he fires one incomplete. He was trying to get that one into the hands of Christian McCaffrey. And it's 3rd down.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Garoppolo now on 3rd and goal. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. It's Trubisky. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. They pitch out to Howard. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now it's Trubisky, eluding the pressure right. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. The Bears on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Howard. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Back with more from Charlotte after this. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now Garoppolo. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The Panthers on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Garoppolo looks to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Nick Kwiatkowski. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing here, Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And now a timeout defensively after that 1st down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. And this one is no good. He missed it. So we are at halftime here on Halloween, as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
You see it? You see it? We're go. Move.
Now it's Trubisky. Flush to his right. Room to run inside the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Trubisky to throw. Pressure comes in. He's brought down. It's a Panther sack. Shaq Thompson coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Trubisky. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a 1st down. They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shaq Thompson in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now Trubisky, flushed out right. And he's going to go down again.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the 2nd half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Garoppolo to throw on 2nd down. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. A very good move, but for a short gain out near the 32. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Panthers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
12. 11.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Completes it right side to Dodson. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
McCaffrey, and he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Garoppolo now. Throwing left side, he's got Gronk, complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And Godot's kick is right through. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
A good pickup there, a 22. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Play action. Now Trubisky. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right?
11.
In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. 1st down. Garoppolo now. 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Garoppolo. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Big hold of the 30. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Garoppolo on first and 10. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On play action. Now Garoppolo. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just
confused.
off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Eluding the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. This is McCaffrey on the give. And room there to work it inside the 25. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. They'll run with McCaffrey. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Flush to his right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, lived to fight another down, right?
And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will stretch the lead to 3 scores now at 19-0. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Trubisky will throw. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let it go deep. And got his man complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets them 8. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he'll actually lose about 7 yards on the return, but they have possession of the football on the turnover. So after the INT, it's Garoppolo. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. McCaffrey on the counter. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with 3rd and still 7 yards to go. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. Meanwhile,
they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. A very solid gain of 27. Trubisky now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10. Now Trubisky to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. Thought that had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on third down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. The Panthers on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. They go again with Scott. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy.
Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He's going to let it fly. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they'll indeed take a knee. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for Carolina, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Eagles will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Bears, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll take this loss into the bye as they'll be back in action in Week 10. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.